So if you identify with the chosen path, a lot of times we're not really going to know what God intends for us to do, what our mission and purpose is, until we do all the work. What I learned was, some of us are going to have more than others. Some of us had more trauma than others. But basically what I learned was doing a lot of shadow work and healing that trauma, letting go of the past, breaking generational curses and karma. And it's a lot. And the part that sucks is if we don't know that that's what we're supposed to do in order to get to our purpose. A lot of people out there calling themselves chosen, but they don't realize that they have a lot of work that they need to do in order to actually be picked, to be chosen, And so that's why there's a lot of people out there that need to start sharing their stories, because there's a lot of misguided people out there like me, how I was, that didn't know what I needed to do to be in my purpose, and I was stagnant for years. And so I kind of want to share this message and let you know kind of how I still don't totally know my purpose, but I want to kind of talk to you about lessons I learned so far on the journey that I'm in. And basically, whatever you went through in your life, whether my situation was a cult, and it was a very hard generational curse. And if you see my messages before, this was incestual, being sexually assaulted by a father figure, possibly member of the family, and in some sort of a cultish type environment. And this carried on possibly into my daughter, and it's been hard. So what I've kind of learned was that I really started to acknowledge that, how the devil can come into our lives, and how easy it is that we can be so friendly and giving and not know that we're opening the door to demonic presences in it. And in this time in our lives right now, demonic presence is huge. And I'm going to kind of tell you a story about a demonic presence that happened to me, and I'm actually witnessing at this time. There was a man they're usually sent to earth angels, to empaths. And this man had schizophrenia. And what I learned is schizophrenia is mostly demonic possession, and it's possibly more than one demon. And this person came into my life, and how you kind of know what happens is there's sort of a transfer of energy. And he was, didn't have money. He was angry. He was a lowlife, a drug addict, just an angry person, just not a good person. And me being an empath, I wanted to help him out. And I started dating him. And when you have sexual intercourse with someone that's demonic, that's the best way to get the stronghold on you. And by doing that with this man, and John, he was able to transfer that demon to me. And slowly over time, in about a year's time, it was almost like we switched lives. And this man was actually sent to me by my aunt, who was in a cult. She's in a trafficking ring, and she basically sent him to me, and it transferred to me, and it destroyed my life. But I cut him off, and that was breaking a curse. That was stopping karma. And even though I was attacked by the cult, I was protected by the divine, right? Because I let go of this demon. The sad part is that he got to the family. He got to friends and family of mine. And because he had taken a lot of my energy, he came across and was presented to them as being someone very legit, very kind, right? And as I was slowly healing and bringing myself back, into my healing and all that stuff, this man was a facade amongst my family and friends. What I notice happens with people like this is they will basically anyone, especially if they have sex with. But if they give you gifts, if they accept gifts from you, you've accepted that demon into your life. And with this, because they were harvesting my energy, they were able to have great lives, like beautiful lives, manifestation lives, everything, because they stole my DNA. And I didn't know about this. I didn't know I was supposed to cut cords. I didn't know anything about this, right? And then when they finally got my daughter away from me, I found that like she had taken some DNA, and that's how they've been harvesting my energy. And so basically what I'm being told is that the only person that's stopping me from my growth is her. And that's because I can't let her go. And that cord is still there. And once I cut that cord and I let her go and I trust that God has it, then their lives will crumble. And it's hard. But I have to trust God on this one. I have to trust him, And I tried to reach out to my ex-husband, but anyone who has had sex with this man, John, has a demon. And they can't think of anything other than kill, steal, and destroy. And they won't listen to you. They won't hear you until it's too late. And sadly, when their lives start to crumble, that's when they're going to come to me and they're going to say, please help. Or can you, whatever, not press charges or whatever it may be. And so with this, just knowing that this was a person, anyone he has had sex with. What I'm hearing is that he wanted to have sex with my daughter, but he was very obsessed with RAPing people, especially children. And what he did was he drugged my daughter, and he did this to her, possibly him and another. And the trauma created some sort of like demonic presence that's so powerful. And anyone who has sexual intercourse with her is going to have the darkness over them. This will bring on addictions. This will bring on anger and resentment, and just it'll turn you into a criminal. It'll turn you into something so demonic you won't even know. And I'm hearing that that's what happened to her. And I don't know what to do, and there's nothing I can do about it. And this man now has been doing witchcraft on her so that she doesn't remember that he did this to her. And now she's going around with him on some sort of like spree of destroying other people's lives. And my ex-husband just either he knows or he doesn't know, he's ignoring it. And that's why I was not able to let her go. Okay? And so this is just to let you know, when you let a stronghold into your house, what can happen. Okay? So it's crazy because as I left, in a rush out of like Denver and trying to find a place, I kept getting these messages about foot fungus and homeless people and how demons can enter homeless people and et cetera, et cetera. And I kept thinking, why is Spirit just giving me these messages, Like I don't have foot fungus. Why does this keep popping up? And I had no idea, right? And it was a forewarning. And God knew, like, you're going to know, right? This is all going to make sense. And so I finally found this safe house in Idaho. And as I was there was someone that came in that the young kid there had brought in, and it was a homeless kid, right? He was living in a tent. It was snowing outside. It was really sad. The kid wouldn't talk. He was I felt very sad for him. They were saying that he had voices in his head. And when I heard that, then I knew that he was demonically possessed, okay? Especially when he's not talking. So and then when he made a comment about how he needed to bathe because he had foot fungus, I knew this is what